All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hornets Live, presented by American Pie Pizza. I want to say thanks to everyone here and to everyone watching live on the Natural State Sports Network, and we're going to be right here at American Pie Pizza every week of the regular season talking with Hornet coaches and players. Remember, every Tuesday night here at American Pie Pizza, it's $2 Tuesdays, so get over here to 9709 Maumelle Boulevard and join us for Hornets Live and $2 Tuesdays. So we have a pizza on its way. I think we've got the chicken Alfredo, so it'll be here in a few, and some buffalo wings. So looking forward to that.
Sounds great.
Before we get into things, though, I want to say a big thank you to the Homecoming Crowd Friday. I put out a challenge at the show last week, and Hornet Nation responded in a big way on Friday night.
Well, our players deserve that, just for the school and the community to come out. These guys have been through a lot this year, not be able to practice on their field. Not be able to have many home games on their field, and make it all the way to October without a home game is crazy. It truly was homecoming. This was our first home game, and it was really nice to see a big crowd out there for our guys.
And not just homecoming for this season, but realistically almost homecoming for the last season and a half, because you didn't get to play in front of the big crowds last year. So it was nice to see a full Hornet Stadium on Friday night in a really loud stadium, and I think it may have impacted the game at times.
Well, yeah, we definitely had a home field advantage for the first time, and it was great. Our fans were behind us, and the players really played their hearts out. So
much-needed victory after a 4-game losing streak, and it seemed like you guys came out with a ton of confidence, going for it on fourth down a few times there early and taking a lot of shots downfield. You think maybe there was a little overconfidence to push the ball down the field early?
I don't know about overconfidence. We know we have to get over the hump, especially offensively. Defenses played pretty well the whole season, and offensively we can't be timid. We have to take shots. We can't be afraid of going for it on fourth down either. And that very first drive we went for it on fourth down, and it was open. It was a play we should have executed a little bit better, and it might have been a touchdown.
Well, don't feel bad, because I think we were a little overconfident as well coming into it, and we had no cameras for about a drive and a half. So, don't feel so bad. We were ready for home too. We just were chilling in the booth, ready to go. So, but defensively, you said it. We played well early on, and so things kind of went back and forth. And then Jessie Knight showed up in a big way on a punt return that ends up not counting. But I want to play the highlight over here, because the highlight is a lot of fun, and hey, it got featured on KATV this week as well. But a big electric play there out of Jessie, and we've seen it many times. I'm curious, because I don't know that we ever got an explanation. What was the call? I know there's a hold, but I thought there was 2 penalties on the play.
I think they got us for a block in the back. I didn't see it on film, but the officials obviously see things better than I do, so.
Yeah, that's the word we're looking for, better. So Beebe would get on the board with a field goal to start the second quarter, and I felt the drive after that was when we got to see the Maumelle offense in action as you went back really to the run and really tried to feed the running backs after that.
Well, with the line as big as ours, I get questioned in the public eye more when we're throwing the ball too much, and so really to get behind those guys, they want that too. They don't shy away from it. They want us to call run plays, and our backs want to carry the ball. And that's our identity is a pro-style offense, which will sprinkle in some play-action passing too.
So you said get the running backs involved in a good running back room, but you told me we were messaging after the game, and you said it. You kind of let the cat out of the bag. There was this guy named Jessie Knight that lined up in the backfield a couple times, and he had a pretty big first half for sure. Pretty big game altogether, but a huge first half.
Well, Jessie's one of the best athletes I've ever coached. I don't want to tell him that too much, because once you get Jessie talking, it's hard to get him to be quiet again. But he's on all our special teams, and he's been a heck of a defensive player for us. And we were looking for a spark plug on offense, and I knew he could do it the whole time. Maybe I'm questioning myself here why we didn't do it earlier.
That was going to be a question for later, but you hit it. He touched the ball 5 times on that drive for 12, 17, 11, and 12, and the only carry that was under 10 yards was the 2-yard score that we'll see here once Will's done texting over there. I'm going to call him Andy for a minute. But the Knight 2-yard touchdown run here that culminated things. And we're going to tell you what's not seen in this. And you came to me a couple days ago and you said, or I think it was yesterday, and wanted to bring Kelby along with us too. But I think you see in that one was one of the first pancake blocks he got as he cleared the way to help clear the way for Jessie to get in the end zone on that one. You kind of see it on the inside there. So Kelby had a great game as well to help that offensive line.
Well, if you look at the run, Jessie bounced it outside a little bit too early maybe, and that'll come with reps, him seeing the holes. But, he's an athlete and he's a dog, and he wanted to get in that end zone, and he got in there. But Kelby made a real easy path for him, and then later on we kind of find that path, and Kelby's our shortest lineman, but he's one of the most dominant.
Yeah, he's a power out there for sure. And how long have you been keeping this secret weapon from the masses in Jessie, though?
Well, I mean, the thing is with Jessie, he's dynamite. Dynamite comes in small packages, and we use him on a lot of things. I mean, he's an all-state caliber safety. He's an all-state caliber special teams player, and now he's showing what he can do running the ball as well.
He was going to say, Andy, I think, said it well on the punt return, said dynamite in a bottle at the end of it, and it was. I mean, every time he touched the ball, it was just like at a different level. And that's not to take away from anything you have. You've got a great backfield, but adding that extra pace, or that little change of pace in the back seemed to make a huge difference this week. The defense would get a big stop on fourth down the next Beebe drive. And then things got a little wild at the end of the first half. It started with another big run, Jessie's 34-yard run here, and it just seemed like every time he touched the ball, it was double digits each and every time.
Well, I mean, this is almost a bust. We missed an assignment on the front end of this, and he puts his foot in the ground, goes back the other way. As Chris Berman would, broadcast in, whoop. I mean, that's the kind of player he is, though. I mean, he took a play that maybe goes for 2 or 3 yards with most players, and he turns it into a huge game. And
he did that a couple times. We'll see another one here in a little bit. But on the fifth play of the drive, Knight would strike yet again, and again another great block by Kelby to clear the way here too. Is 17 yards out for the touchdown as well.
Well, it just makes me smile real big when I see Kelby do that to players. And he's not nice about it either. He lets them know about it afterwards. I mean, he introduces them to all of himself on that play after he pancake blocks that man. And then, Jessie's going to finish the job once it's there.
Yeah, I was going to ask him because we'll have him up here in a little bit. But it feels like the pulling guard play is maybe his favorite play ever to actually run.
Well, I may get chastised for calling our counter play or where he kicks out several times. Maybe they say we call it too much, but it's hard not to call that play when you see those kind of results.
Yeah, I had to go back today after you said that, and it was something else to watch for sure. So after that, Beebe would then respond one play later, 68-yard touchdown pass from Grant to Karenko. Karenko had a huge game. We were familiar with him from basketball season, but a great athlete. He was able to kind of get away maybe with a little push-off here, but a big score that was able to kind of change things a little bit at the moment there at the end of the first half.
Well, I like the point. I feel like if we'd have done that, we'd have got a 15-yard penalty and the touchdown wouldn't have counted. In most places, that kid can play. He's a player for sure. I don't want to take anything away from what he did there. He had a real nice touchdown dance too. So I'm hoping that our DBs respond to that. And don't let that happen again. It's a bust in coverage. It's one man getting beat. And us not getting a very good pass rush. You can't do stuff like that right after you score. This is we're close. We're closing in on getting everything clicking, and it's, when the offense gets in there and scores a touchdown, you can't have a one-play score like that on the back end of it. And that's not a knock on the defense. That's just a knock on what's happening in the game and momentum. That's something that we can't give up. And so, as to where early in the year. We've had to lean on the defense a lot. Defense has bailed the offense out a lot. Those big momentum plays, come into the picture in close games. And so, I think we're learning from some mistakes. And the defense really responded after that. After that one big play, that's really only huge play that Beebe had.
Yeah. But like my Niners did against the Packers a few weeks ago, they left too much time on the field for this Hornet offense. And Knight would break off yet another double-digit yard run, a 20-yarder here on this play that got the drive going. or after a completion. Sorry, this was after a completion to Rod, and then a personal foul penalty that moved the ball down there. Then Jessie was able to break off a 20-yard run, and that was his 6th carry of over 10 yards on just his 7th attempt in the first half.
Well, he was racking up the yards. I mean, every time he touched the ball, it seemed like it was a huge play. And, you know, offensively, you know, we've had to lean on the defense so much, you know, like they've had our back even through thick and thin. And, you know, offensively, we wanted to do something for the defense there. They gave a big play, but we wanted to answer back. We really wanted to put some points on the board. The entire 11 that were out there, you know, when we huddled before the first play of that drive, we knew we had to put points on the board.
Yeah, so you had a big third down that you would convert here as the original Swiss Army knife that we've had, Hunter Speck, got behind the defense and hauled in this 24-yard touchdown catch. And this would be a big one that would, as you said, answer the big play by Beebe in just the drive before.
Well, one of our assistant coaches asked me the play. He didn't see it signaled in. You know, I kind of do it differently than most. I guess I'm not real flamboyant with my signal calling, but he asked me what play it was, and I turned and looked at him. I said, "This is the one where Hunter catches a touchdown in the end zone." And,
well, you called it.
Well, it was executed well. It's nice to see that a little bit of fluidity on offense. You know, we've been kind of herky jerky and sometimes reading things late or not having the ball out in time and stuff like that. And it was one that we read correctly and we executed well.
It was a great play. Trevon Rawls would pick off Grant in the half, and we'd head into the half with a 21-10 lead. It's got to be a good feeling in the locker room. You're up. The offensive line's moving folks. The running game's found a few extra cylinders, and the passing game was clicking in the second quarter.
Well, I won't repeat what I said at halftime. It's not something I can say out loud, but it was we weren't relaxed at all at halftime. You know, we're not content with you know, barely having a lead against Beebe. You know, we felt like we missed some opportunities to really be up big in the first half, and you know, the halftime speech was more about motivating to the level we want to play at, not playing where we are right now or who we're playing against, but the long-term success of this, executing every time we have the ball, and making sure that we're making stops as well.
So the offense racked up 291 yards in the first half, 114 of that from Knight on the ground. But the defense equally as impressive. They held Beebe to just 36 yards rushing, and really, if not for the one big play, they had just over 100 yards of total offense in the first half.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we really left some things out there, and that was really the focus. You know, it was we want to execute every time we've got the ball. We want to make stops every time they have the ball, and you know, outside of one play and not getting off the field on 3rd and long a few times, defense really played well. Offense, we didn't really play the first quarter. You know. We're slow starters, and we've got to get over that. But the second quarter was much better. You know, there's some things that we can build on from that point.
So the defense would shut down Beebe again to start the second half, and then special teams would come through yet again as Max Pace would pick up 35 on this punt return. And this was a good-looking return here out of Max, as he's had a couple of those too. Special teams just continues to kind of show out after some struggles early in the year.
Well, I would say this. You know, I've been coaching special teams for quite a while, and it's hard to do that when you're not on your field. You don't have a full field to deal with. You know, we get some really good reps in our practice. These past 2 weeks especially, you know, now we're back on our field, and you've seen a real flip in focus. We've made it a team venture. We do our conditioning on Mondays with special teams. The whole team runs. While we execute special teams plays, it's really a buy-in for the whole team, because we've seen, you know, in those 4 close losses, I mean, there's been a blunder in special teams in every single one of them. Even if it's a small one, you know, I mean, an extra point can cost you a game. You know, so all those phases have to be running with fluidity, and it's starting to be there. And you know, Maxwell Pace is also dynamite as well. You know, and he's really good when he's got the ball in his hand. Whether he's playing defense or special teams or offense, he's also a weapon.
Yeah, he was a big piece of this one, obviously, helping there, obviously, in field position, and the offense would take advantage of it as Weston would find Rod on this 24-yard connection. And I thought, just watching this is, to me, we got to see what makes Rod one of the best, if not the best, wide receivers in 5A. We see him making the big plays. We see him making the plays down the field. But this one was one of those where not only did he, you know, he sat down in the right spot, ran the route, makes the catch, makes the guy miss, and then shows the speed to get to the end zone.
Well, there's a couple things I want to point out on the beginning of that play. We didn't execute real good in pass protection. Weston created time. He's done a real good job of creating time, and he finds our open man. He makes a good read with this. He gets the ball in the playmaker's hands. Rod's really good yards after catch. And then number 20 got involved again and maybe actually made the block that got Rod in the end zone, So, when you get playmakers out there and you let them do their thing and get them in space, good things happen usually.
So later after this, we'd see Grant get hurt on a play that would bring Karenko in at quarterback for the rest of the game. And they'd get us one more time, this 39-yard touchdown pass where Karenko finds Stevens on a play down the sideline here. And, again, just kind of a similar to last time. Should have made a tackle there and then off to the races. So tough one there.
Well, our corner probably doesn't want that clip being shown. We had a bust in coverage, which wasn't his, but we missed a tackle on the back end. That should have been, damage controlled into we blew a coverage, and it was, a 15 or 20-yard gain. It shouldn't have been a touchdown, but we missed a tackle and kind of complicated it. A big emphasis this week in practice, and it's kind of been our Achilles, if there is one on defense, because we played pretty well this year, is getting off the field on 3rd and long. You guys have worked that hard to keep them behind the sticks. Championship defenses get them off the field on 3rd and long, and make them punt, get the ball back to offense, and so we're doing some things in practice to address those, and if the defense has a Achilles, we're trying to fix it. You can't ever sit still. If you're not trying to get better, you're getting worse. You know?
Well, I think we saw, the growth of this team, too, a little bit, because I think it would have been easy in that scenario to kind of see what maybe we saw against Beebe. You're starting to kind of stretch the lead out a little bit, or not Beebe, I'm sorry, against Robinson. And then, you stretch the lead out a little bit, and then Beebe's going to score quickly. But every time that Beebe would get in the end zone, we would answer, and we'd do it again here as, once again, Pierce finds Speck 57 yards as Weston drops this ball in a bucket that our guy Hunter Speck just happens to be carrying, and that would increase the score to 35-17. Well, allegedly, as he supposedly stepped out of bounds right there at the 4-yard line.
Well, I'll get off the officials a little bit. We slowed that down, and we had a real big debate in the coach's office this weekend. I think they got it right. It's right on the line. I don't know. Either way, it's a big play for us because that was a 3rd down. If we don't convert there, BB's got momentum.
Mm-hmm.
They just scored. They got us off the field. We knew we needed to convert right there, and it's a great route by Hunter, and it's a good read and throw by Weston. Those are things that we've got to do, and it's real nice to answer for the defense.
Yeah, it was definitely huge. I think even on the broadcast I said something to Andy about. I said we really need to convert this and not let them feel have any hope at this point, and we did, and we hit it big. And but worked out on the 4. I guess it gave Candler an opportunity to join the touchdown party as Michael Candler on the next play would go in from 4 yards out, and that would officially increase the score to 35-17.
Well, I think Jordan was surprised at how big the hole was there. He kind of hesitates, and then he hits it. We were talking about the coach's office. O-line did a really good job on the doorstep right there, and it's nice when you can look at your left guard and left tackle and just know a job's going to get done right there. It was an easy call.
So the defense would really be the story of the rest of it as things kind of slowed down. A lot of flags got thrown in that 4th quarter, it seemed like. Just kind of the pace of the games really slowed a little bit there in the 4th. But speaking of pace was a big piece when I say in the defense in the second half, as you'll see this big hit by Max Pace on this one. Pace had a huge play. This was a play that was kind of busted from the beginning. I think they were trying to catch you quick and a bad snap. And I really thought he was going to get to the corner, and not just Pace, but Epperson makes a great play to pull him up first, and then Pace just kind of takes out the entire sideline.
Well, those bad snaps are kind of weird when they happen, and our team speed on defense is so good, when things kind of get busted and everything. I like our chances, and then, that was an opportunity to hit their quarterback real hard, and, everybody was trying to get there to do it.
Well, Pace took care of it. He cleaned it up for sure, and then he'd make this big interception later towards the start of the 4th quarter as Karenko was throwing one back in the back of the end zone. Kind of a Hail Mary prayer play here, just hoping to make something happen, and Max was in the right spot to make a good play and pick this one off.
Well, they left. They kind of came out in a 2-by-2 formation, and they left the person that Maxwell was responsible in in pass protection. So, you know, he was able to drop and help double team that double move, and you know, it was really our benefit out the gate. But it was nice of him to go up and make a play on the ball.
So the final 7 minutes would tick away. Your squad would slam the door on this 4-game losing streak, beating Beebe 35-17, and it had to have been a great feeling in the locker room afterwards. Absolutely.
These guys deserve to win. You know, I mean, we're so close in all 4 of those games. I mean, you know, like Bill Parcells said, you know, it doesn't matter how you got there. We were 1-4 going to that. You know, it's hard to believe because we're talented as we are, but we found a way to lose some close games, you know, and so to finally break that loose, get the monkey off our back, you know, it's been a really good thing for us.
Well, I will say this. You definitely seem like a much less stressed individual Friday night. Maybe it was just playing at home. Maybe it was that homecoming festivities got moved inside because of the threat of rain. I don't know. But you were definitely a much more relaxed Coach Horton on Friday. Not to say that you aren't normally a relaxed guy, but you definitely felt like you were happy to be playing at home.
Well, it's finally, you know, was there. You know, that's been something we've been missing, you know. It really was, you know, and honestly, home games are a bigger stress for me because I'm the AD as well, you know, so having to make sure all those things are right and homecoming going on and stuff like that. But, you know, I just knew the guys were going to respond to being at home, and I knew that we were going to take care of business.
Speaking of responding, I want to talk to, just to give a quick attaboy as well to a guy that we don't have here, but somebody on special teams that had a big night. Braden Kemp, I thought, played really well with Brookhagen being out. He hits all 5 of his extra points, and he seemed to execute that little pop kick perfectly every time on the kickoffs.
Absolutely, and he's kind of a quirky kid. You know, we have a really good relationship. You know, I can't tell you about all the conversations we have, but it's we have a real good relationship. When we talk about special teams and everything, and you know, his jobs are you know, very important, but he handles it with grace. You know, he kicked the ball exactly where it was supposed to be on kickoff, and he made all 5 extra points. You know, that was really stepping up in a big way for us.
All right, well, Coach, we're going to wrap things up for now, take a break, and when we get back, we'll be joined by our offensive and defensive players of the game. This season, 1-3 on the season. Dez makes this catch. Dez out across the 30, 32, breaks a tackle across the 35. He's down to the 45-yard line and a big play. Pace is up in the middle, standing at about the 32-yard line. Knight back at the 12. This one's punted away. Pace is, this is going to go back to Knight. Knight may catch it on a bounce, and he will at the 15. Coming across the 20, makes a man miss. What a move across the 25, 30, 35, stay in bounds. 45 across midfield, breaks the tackle, and Jessie Knight is going to go to the house. Jessie Knight, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Hornets! What a play by Jessie Knight. We've been waiting for it all season. We finally get it in front of this huge home. No, he does give it to him late. Who is that? That's Jessie Knight in the backfield. Look at Knight breaking tackles all the way out to the 48-yard line. Pierce gives this one up the middle. It breaks the tackle. That's Jessie. Jessie trying to break. Does break another one inside the 15 down to the 10. And that's going to be a McClarty Nissan. First down as he sees. Motion man here. That's where they're going to give it. That's Knight. Knight trying to get around the corner. He's at the 15. Cuts inside. Nice move to get to the 10, to the 5, to the 4. And he's pushed out up a step. He said, you're too deep. And they will. They'll give it to 20. Knight got to the outside, and he'll score. Touchdown, Hornets, as Knight finally gets out of the line here.
I want to get him more involved, too. It's not a mistake.
Pierce, he'll give it to Knight. Knight looking for room. Got an extra block from Rogers. Now to the left side as he switches direction. He's got room. They got a wall over there across the 40, 35, 30. Across the 25, and he just breaks free to the... Give it to Jessie again. Jessie breaks free inside the 10, 5, touchdown, Hornets! Knight's motion, man. That's who they're going to give it to. Knight's going to get the corner. Knight across the 45, 40, 35, 30. Breaks a tackle at the 25 and tackled out of bounds at the, that's going to say stepped out to his left.
Swiss Army knives on the sideline. Right?
Takes it, looking. He's got Pierce, he's got Speck, and he's got him in the end zone.
Come on, Hunter.
Hunter Speck, touchdown, Hornets.
You're too wide open.
Yeah. To the right side. Pierce looking. Here comes the pressure on that side. Pierce is going to get away from it. Now Pierce has got Rogers in the middle, and that's where he goes. God, that's not Rogers. Sorry, that's Rod. Rod makes a man miss. 5, touchdown, Hornets. The best wide receiver in 5A getting work done again tonight.
High school age, trying out on the field. It's like, Wait a minute. We're way up here and it's still big. That's in the
And they'll look at the Hornets in the backfield. Third down, 4:10 to go. Need a first down.
Definitely don't need a quick
Pierce
down.
gets the snap looking. He's got Candler instead. He wants to go deep. He's got Speck running behind the defense. Got the ball, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Hornets! As Hunter Speck turns on the Jets, and the Hornets extend. Stepped out of bounds, I think. Candler
said, I'll take care of that.
So Candler does score. I don't know. I guess they're saying he stepped out down here. All right, welcome back to Hornets Live from American Pie Pizza, presented by Natural State Sports. I want to take a second to mention the official sponsor of the Maumelle Hornets, Dio Vanucci and Cornerstone Home Lending. In this real estate market, it is imperative that you work with the best lenders to ensure you are in the best position possible when making an offer. Dio and his team will ensure you have a great experience from kickoff to the closing table. So text Dio to 36260 and get your home search kicked off today. So tonight, we have a special treat, as we have 3 outstanding performances here to recognize, although I think Nico's just here for the looks. But joining us tonight is our offensive – we're just going to call you offensive and defensive. We can go both sides, is Jessie Knight, and then offensive lineman Kelby Forte. How you doing tonight, fellas?
I'm good.
All right, so I'm gonna start off with Kelby over here, because as I was telling Coach, we were talking before. I think everybody knew. Jessie had a phenomenal game, and you guys on the defense played really well. And so we were trying to figure out who should come tonight. And Coach said, we got to have Kelby. We got to have Kelby, and you got to go back and watch the video and just watch the number of people that he just annihilated. Talk about that game Friday night and how much fun you had.
Well, it was homecoming, first home game, so you already know we had to show out. I had to show out, so I was just excited the whole game, the whole practice, just ready to hit somebody.
So it seemed against Beebe that once you guys kind of got the running game going, the rest of the offense started clicking as well. Is it a sense of pride for the offensive lineman to just be able to push guys around and open holes for these running backs?
Oh, definitely. We like pushing people around, pancaking, teabagging, all of that stuff.
The pass block is obviously a lot of fun. I say not a lot of fun. You get to you got to kind of hold your place and be ready for somebody, but you get to take it to those guys. You got a guy that you get to go up against. A lot of them practice sitting over here across from us. How much does that help going head to head with guys like Nico, Harrison, and those other guys as well?
Well, in the long run, they make me better because, to be honest, we're not going to see a defensive lineman like Nico or Jordan or CJ and them.
So before the season started, I remember we were at a practice at Robinson, and you came and you caught me, and you told me, you said, you and Andrew are the best tackle guard combination in the state. How do you think you guys have played so far this year?
I believe that we have proved that on numerous occasions, and Big Baby both.
Well, we've had you both up here, so obviously something's going right on the left side of the offensive line.
Yes, sir.
Not to take anything away from the rest of the guys on the offensive line, not at all. Everybody's playing well, but and eventually we'll work our way all the way across the line. But the left side has definitely shown out so far this year. All right, so before we talk with our other players of the game, I lost my spot here. Where are we at? Okay. Before we talk to other player of the game, I want to watch this highlight video, and we put together a little something special for you.
Pancake.
And we got something for you too. Got you all taken care of. Plenty of syrup. We got your pancakes all set. But a big game, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've got this in my notes, but Jessie, when you get done watching this before we start talking, I want you to just turn to your guy here and say thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
because I think he was responsible for both of your touchdowns in there.
I
Definitely
asked him
helped.
before the game. I was like, how many pancakes I'm going to get?
Well, I got you 7 pancakes here. I think that's close to the number that I was able to count. I may have missed 1 or 2. Does that sound about right? 7 sound good?
Yeah, 7 sounds amazing.
Okay, 7 sounds good. So you know what's going to happen now, though, is we done had Big Baby over here, and I didn't get pancakes for Big Baby. I see him staring me down over there, so I'm gonna have to hook Big Baby up with some pancakes. He did get the Pizookie, so but I got you. All right, one more question, and I asked Coach this. We talked about it a minute ago. But is pulling that kick out, is that your favorite play in the whole world?
Man. don't even know how to answer that question.
What's going through your head, right? Clean it up. But what's going through your head before you hit that guy when you round the corner and you see him coming?
If they're a field, I say, oh, yeah.
What do you think's going through his head?
Oh, no.
For sure. All right, so Kelby, we appreciate you joining us, but I want to turn to the guy that opened up all those holes for you, Jessie Knight. So last week, Coach told us that he was going to get you involved in the offense some this week. What was your reaction when he first told you he was going to give you some time at running back?
I mean, really, he didn't tell me.
Oh, no.
I asked him, I was like, hey, Coach, I'm trying to get a little offense work, get them motivated, because you know how I be having my dogs on defense. We be turned 24/7. So I was like, I got to get the offense going so we can all be on one accord, make this little run, get to the state championship.
So really this was just Jessie lobbying. This was the mouth of Jessie continuing to talk all the time. That's what really made this happen.
All the time, baby.
So and then you got out there and you actually made it happen. Congratulations on a huge game. 114 yards in the first half, 156 I think total rushing. How did it feel in that first game out there running the ball?
Not gonna lie, the first time Coach called, I think he called like 42 dudes. I ain't even gonna know. I don't even know the plays like that. So I whisper to Weston. I'll be like, left or right, and he gonna tell me go left or right. I get the ball. Next thing you know, I look up. I see Kelby. He got somebody on the ground. I see a hole right there. I just shoot up the hole.
It's a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, and again, Crawford and Candler are great running backs, and they've done a great job this year, and they're going to be huge. All three of you potentially huge pieces throughout the rest of this season. But you just seem to have a little different step. You hit the hole a little quicker. Is that what is that from? What do you attribute that to?
And I just want to give thanks to our running back coach. He teach me a whole lot of new moves, and he just tell me to do what I do and do it good. I just go out there and play my heart out like it's my last game.
So what's more fun, a scoop and score on defense, a kick return for a touchdown, or dominating out of the backfield for a game?
I said a kick return. I told him we was at practice. What was that, Monday? He called for kick return. I go running out there. I'm talking my stuff. I'm finna get ready to return this. Jessie, you're not on this. I was like, oh, man, he took me off.
Well, I'm still disappointed that we had the touchdown taken away, but you got it back a couple of times and a big one. We've waited all season to see you break one and finally got that opportunity. I'm going to have Will play the highlight video over here, and I want you to watch it. Now, I know you talk a lot, so I'm going to let you talk through this as well because we got about 2 minutes. And just tell us about some of the fun you were having out there on Friday night. And we're going to start right off the bat with this punt return for a touchdown. And I'm gonna tell you, I thought for sure, man. We were going into we were gonna go viral together on this return if it happened. I promise you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I gotta peep my boy CJ at the end, number 8.
I like this play, and I know, Coach, but I like this little. Even if it wasn't on purpose, I like the little flip at the end.
Oh yeah, that's on purpose.
I know it was. You weren't supposed to tell Coach that though. We were gonna leave that out of Coach. Coach wasn't supposed to know that part. But after that, so they take the touchdown away. We were pretty disappointed. But I think Andy said it right. I said it a minute ago. If you listen real closely, because unfortunately we had Andy real low there, but dynamite in a bottle, and that's what it was. Dynamite in a bottle, man. It was just every time you touched the ball, we were waiting on something big to happen.
Yes, sir.
And you see it here, your ability to break tackles as well. Not just, obviously you said, I don't know, left or right. You just tell me which way to go. And even in a situation like that, we knew from the second you got the corner. You were getting the corner, and you were getting that first down. I think, was this the play? I'm trying to, let's see. No, this isn't it. You got one. This is the one of the other big runs with the broken tackles. It was really impressive. But there's one coming up. I think it's this one. This might have been one of my favorite moves of the night right here. On a dime, inside, and still get about 12 more yards out of that to get that down to the 4. It was a great run there, too. And, of course, you got to say thanks to, even though you went the wrong way, as Coach wanted to point out there, but Kelby had it opened up for you, for
yes,
sure,
sir.
on that one.
He do it every time.
I think we'll get to see a little bit more of it here as another good run. And this was the one where you kind of cleaned things up, made something out of nothing on that.
Yes, sir.
How good does it feel to come off the sideline knowing in that scenario you just made something big happen out of something that was probably a 3 or 4 yard loss?
It feels good because when I come to the sideline, I see the smile on my coach's face and on my O-line face, and that's just what they needed to get going. And you see later on, you watch the game, my boy Hunter Speck had 3 touchdowns, but he dropped one on wide open.
Yeah, I got to give Hunter a hard time over that one when I see him, because even I was calling it before he caught it. I already had my touchdown call going, and then he didn't complete it.
I noticed that the whole game before I was in the end zone, you was yelling touchdown.
And got you some defense here as well. A good game on defense, like we said. Several tackles in this one. Just a great game all the way around. Talk about we've got the big guy here, but we talk about the rest of the offensive line as well. Talk about how much fun it is running behind those guys.
It's so much fun because no matter what play we call, I know all of them, they're going to block their hardest. They're going to do their job, do what they need to do. And I know every time I touch the ball in my head, I'm thinking first down, touchdown.
Well, it seemed to be that way. I think maybe 2 runs under 10 yards on the whole night. One of them was a touchdown, so you can only go 2 yards. So
yes, sir.
Fantastic game from you, and we appreciate you guys joining us. Nico, you just here for the looks? You want to talk? All right, so Nico's just here for the looks. We appreciate Nico being here.
I told my boy to get me up there with Faye. He playing.
hey, it's coming. It's coming. I'm telling you, one way or another. That's right. Just keep pushing. Hey, we keep doing nights like this, and we're going to have some fun. So big one against Jacksonville. Like I said, 1-1 in conference now, and we're going to talk with Coach Horton a little bit about this. But, talk about a little bit, and either one of you guys can answer this. And Nico, if I had a headset for you, you could answer too. But I'm unprepared for you tonight, man. But 1-1 in conference, you try not to look ahead, but obviously Whitehall beats Little Rock Christian, the game that we dropped to start. So really a lot of 1-1s at the top of the bracket. You still have Whitehall left. You got PA coming up. Everything's in front of you guys to still win a conference title and a state title. How exciting is that right now?
It feel good, man. I just hope everybody go out there. We practice like we want to win, so I hope we play like we want to win. We just do our job, get whatever needs to be done out the way, and keep moving forward.
Looking forward to Jacksonville this week?
Oh, most definitely.
13 pancakes, that's the
man.
goal.
These we're going to have to get an IHOP sponsorship. These are going to get expensive, man, all these pancakes. All right, man. Well, fellas, we appreciate you guys joining us this evening. I'm going to let you go enjoy the pizza. You can enjoy those wings. And when we get back, we're going to talk with Coach about this week's matchup with Jacksonville.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Steve.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
My name is Brandon Aker. I'm the owner and pharmacist here at Aker Family Pharmacy in Maumelle. So here in our pharmacy, we like to focus on a hyper-personalized relationship with our patients, and that continues into our service sets. So we offer free delivery, curbside vaccinations, as well as custom compounded medications, including extended hours as well. I think you don't know the level of intimacy that you're going to get with your patients until you really get in it, and I can't imagine doing anything else.
All right, it wouldn't be a broadcast without technical difficulties. Welcome back, Hornets fans, to Hornets Live from American Pie Pizza. And I really hope you guys have gotten your Pizookie orders in. If not, head over to 9709 Maumelle Boulevard or head to www.americanpiepizza.net and get yours. All right, Coach. So 2-4 on the season, but more importantly, as we talked about with the guys a minute ago, 1-1 in conference play.
Yeah, I mean, getting that first conference win was huge. You know, we looked at, the Christian game as a missed opportunity. I mean, we feel like we should be 2-0. We just didn't get it done. Our red zone mistakes didn't let us get that first victory. But, getting kind of back on track this week, getting a win against Beebe was huge because some other things that happened in the conference, kind of gave us a chance to have a mulligan or a do-over.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Obviously, Whitehall beats Little Rock Christian last week, and you still got PA ahead on the schedule. And again, like I told you, like we were talking about, you don't want to look ahead, but because obviously a huge game with Jacksonville this week and a game that's easy maybe to look ahead with PA coming up. But, the conference title's still right there in front of you potentially, and being able to play for a good seeding spot in the playoffs, maybe get a home game is still right there in front of you.
Well, all those things are great to talk about on the show and everything. But, for us, in this conference, we have to win this week. There's nobody else we're thinking about right now than Jacksonville just because, Jacksonville won last week. They beat Watson Chapel in a pretty impressive fashion. I mean, we can't take anybody lightly in this conference. And, so Friday it's about going to Jacksonville on a business trip and coming back with a win.
So ahead first, like you said, another road game. This time we're going to head over to Jacksonville. And this is the Jacksonville program. They have struggled, but like you said, 1-4 coming off their first victory of the year with a big win over Watson Chapel. What do they bring? What do you think that they're going to bring to the table that's going to give you guys some issues this week?
They're big and athletic. They've got some really good running backs, a good offensive line. Their defensive box is very athletic and very physical. Nothing's going to be easy about Friday. We know that. We've got to execute our game plan on both offense and defense, to get where we need to be.
So offensively, Jacksonville, like you said, they want to run the ball, a team that runs the wing T offense. So after the way we've played against a couple other teams that have run similar offenses this year.
Well, some good things happen out of losses. We always want to win, but, some of those close losses we played against some teams that are very physical up front. That Bird team out of Louisiana did some wing T things, and they did some flex bone things that, I think we match up well with that, and being on the grind, playing in close games with teams that execute that as well as they do, I think is really going to come to benefit us in this game.
Cobb's a UCA commit, a very talented guy wherever they end up lining him up. What's the plan to slow him down?
Well, I mean, we've got to dictate the line of scrimmage. We've got to win up front. We've got to have everybody fit like they're supposed to, and it's assignment football at the end of the day. Everybody's got to do their job, be where they're supposed to be, and make tackles. Defensively,
Jacksonville's they've given up some points, 37 points a game through their first 5. So got to feel like the offense is going to have some opportunities.
Well, we've struggled at times on offense this year. We've had some lulls and stuff like that. For us, it's about executing better and being more consistent. I think we've got some things we can attack, but we've got to execute and do our thing.
I'm going to say, yeah, obviously I think the key here, get started quick.
Absolutely. I mean, that's been that's been the story. I mean, it's crazy because the first 2 games we scored on the first drive. And for whatever reason, our first quarter has been a struggle for us the last couple games, and we want to get started off quick. We want to get some first downs and move the ball, and then make it count when we get in the red zone.
All right, Coach. I didn't have a whole lot for you. You know how hard it is to find stuff for Jacksonville online right now? I probably could have just came and sat with you in a film session and probably been a whole lot better and more prepared.
Well, I tell you, this week's film session, we were doing some self-study, looking at some tendencies we have, and one of the biggest one is I like to call counter where Kelby's pulling a lot. We were able to find quite a few pancakes off of that successful venture, and it's been fun process, shaping the team each week and making adjustments, and I'm really hope we catch our stride right now. It's perfect timing to get on your stride. Losing non-conference games are only bad if you don't learn anything from them, and so I think we're on a path right now where we've learned from some mistakes, and it's really staying in the guys' heads to finish games, and come up big when it's an opportunity to do so.
Well, it's a great part of the season to find your stride. As fans and as outsiders, kind of we can get excited about what's happening next week and the challenges to present there. But we want to see as many fans as possible out on Friday night. It's a short drive over to Jacksonville. It's a nice facility, great roadside to sit on. So our crowd will be treated well, close to the stands, so you can or close to the field. So the noise level will help as well. And so we look forward to being over there this week. And I wanted to say as well, if you guys are looking for some of your Hornet gear from a local hometown place, you saw our folks over at Acre Pharmacy advertising with us. They've got a lot of our they've got Maumelle gear there. So if you're looking to try to get some Maumelle gear, head over and see our friends at Acre Pharmacy. And I also want to put this out there as well, as basketball season's coming up really quick. We're just about a month away from the first basketball game. And so even if Nico's not going to play, even though we're going to bug him every day between now and basketball season, if you guys would like to jump on and sponsor or advertise with us on the streams, please give us a shout. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or you can give us a shout or reach out to us through the Booster Club as well. We'd love to add as many sponsors as we can as we get into football season as well. But Coach, we appreciate your time here tonight, along with our players of the game. And we're going to wrap things up tonight from Hornets Live from American Pie Pizza. I want to give a big thanks to our friends Tamsy here at American Pie Pizza for hosting us tonight and every night. And be sure to come by and see them this week, as well as our other sponsors, Cornerstone Home Lending, Akel's Wholesale, Acre Pharmacy, PI Roofing, the Brooke Brolo Agency, McClarty Nissan, and Brooks Insurance Agency of Maumelle. For Natural State Sports, I'm Steve Henson, and this has been Hornets Live. See y'all Friday night. Go Hornets.